Since you hit play on Wife Teacher Mommy, the podcast today, I want to make sure that you know that our free self-love challenge is happening in February 2024 right here on the podcast. The goal of this challenge is to make creating an intentional practice of self-love even easier than ever simply by plugging in your earbuds and listening for about 10 minutes per day. But for the full experience, you're going to want to get the scorecard so you can enter the giveaways, get the daily journal prompts sent to your inbox, and join us for the live wrap-up podcast recording. Yes, you get to join me in the studio and record the podcast together live. It is all free. Go to wifeteachermommy.com/self-love challenge to sign up. Again, it is completely free. You'll get a daily reminder with the free 10-minute coaching each day and your journal prompt, and you will see a transformation over these 14 days. It is not only going to impact your relationship with yourself, but as I'll teach during the challenge, it is going to impact every single other relationship you have in your life, your relationship with other people, your relationship with teaching. That energy is going to impact every single other aspect of your life. So sign up at wifeteachermommy.com/self-love challenge. It's free. Now let's get to the episode.
You are listening to episode number 92 of Wife Teacher Mommy, the podcast. What is group life coaching for teachers? Whether you have no clue at all, or you're just a little bit curious or want to be a little nosy about what goes on and how it works, I'm explaining all of it on today's episode. Welcome to Wife Teacher Mommy, the podcast. I'm Kelsey Sorensen, a former elementary teacher and current homeschool mom. And even though I've been a resource creator since 2014, I've realized that printables alone aren't all you need in order to thrive as a teacher or homeschool parent. That's why I also created this show and got certified as a life coach to help you finally kick burnout to the curb and feel confident with whatever challenges come your way. With the right mindset strategies and new teaching inspiration, you're going to be well on your way to your best teacher life. Now let's go. I'm so excited to be talking about one of my absolute favorite things on the podcast today, life coaching, and what it is and how it can help you. So if you're listening today, you're going to learn all about it and kind of how it works. And hopefully you'll be able to leave this episode knowing whether or not this is something that you would like to have in your life. But before I dive in, I want to read a review that came in for the podcast from, actually, I can recognize her name from one of our Wife Teacher Mommy Club members, Rose. Thank you so much for leaving this review, Rose. And here's what she had to say. She said, loving it. I've been a longtime follower on the internet and Facebook. However, I was not much listening to podcasts because my mind would wander. However, I love listening to Kelsey and her guests. They are upbeat, positive, and offer a lot of great information. I've been having a rough year and they have been my lifesaver. Thank you, Kelsey, and everyone else for being there, both live and not. You have definitely been an answer to my prayers, and I'm looking forward to educate and rejuvenate at the end of the month. I cannot wait. Keep up the great work. And Rose is one of our incredible club members who regularly attends our coaching calls. Thank you so much for leaving that review, and I'm so glad that we have helped you because it's mutual. I love being able to help all the teachers out there. It is what I'm passionate about. I love helping show you these coaching tools, and they've changed my life, and I just really want to help them change your life too. Okay, so today's episode is going to be a little different than most episodes. Usually I'm like teaching you something, but today I'm kind of giving you a sneak peek behind the scenes of what life coaching is and how it works inside Wife Teacher Mommy Club so you can know if it's right for you. So first I want to talk about what is life coaching, because a lot of people even wonder that. And the thing about life coaching is, like, I say teaching resources and you immediately know what I'm talking about. Like, oh yeah, like TPT, or I can just download and use it. But life coaching isn't so simple that you can just like explain it and everybody knows exactly what you're talking about. One sentence that my team came up with for our new page we created for Wife Teacher Mommy Club is teacher life coaching is just like tutoring, but the subject you're studying is yourself. And I love this because that's really kind of sums it up in a gist. It's like you're figuring out what is going on inside your mind, how it's creating your feelings, and the results that you're seeing in your life. Now, a life coach is there to help you improve your life inside and outside the classroom, feel better, and help you reach your goals. Now, I'm going to read a quote from the Life Coach School website, which is the school that I went to, and Chrissy Nichols, our other coach inside the club. And this is what they have to say about life coaching. The reality is the life coach industry is exploding. In fact, it's one of the fastest growing industries in the world. So why would you need a life coach in the first place? Simply put, coaching helps you identify what's going on in your own brain. When you feel unable to get results you want or feel frustrated with your life, coaching is the answer. A life coach can help you recognize where you're stuck and show you exactly what to change when you can't see it yourself. A life coach is the best friend who will call you out when you're showing up in a way you don't want to, give you tough love, and believe in you way before you are able to. They can help you create the exact life you've always wanted. Now, you might hear that though and be like, well, I don't care about looking inside my brain. That's not really like the problem I have right now. And the thing is, that's kind of the method to solve whatever problem it is you're wanting to solve. Now, so I want to share kind of a few examples of things that we've helped teachers with inside the club. So here's one example. So there was a teacher who felt like she was being excluded by her teacher friends. And actually, this has come up a couple times. She was able to figure out how she can show confidence through vulnerability. And then she was able to create a deeper friendships with colleagues that she cares about and is always getting invited to happy hour. Now, another problem you might look at as an example inside the club, the kids were unmotivated to learn and do their work. We've all seen this, right? And a lesson that we can learn in coaching is how to get curious about why this is happening to come up with a new solution. Instead of a lot of times what happens is we get frustrated by what's happening isn't working. I have a whole podcast about like kind of coaching on this topic. Through this, one of the teachers we worked with, her relationship with her kids had improved drastically by the end of the school year. Another problem is this was a homeschool mom who came to me and she had a hard time finding time for herself because she felt like she was always with her kids and, they were never gone. And the lesson that she was able to learn is we're taking time for even just 10 minutes a day. And now she feels more rested and connected just from journaling 10 minutes before bed. And one last example, if a teacher could come and feel disappointed or angered from not getting their teaching contract renewed. And through coaching and talking through it and really seeing what's going on inside their mind, they're able to celebrate the wins anyways, what had gone well during the school year and truly celebrate all that they had done. And this member felt so loved while they were getting coaching and reflecting on the good things. And the great thing is because this was group coaching, everybody was chiming in with support. So this is the beauty of group coaching and what it is. So a little bit more about what group coaching is. Inside our group coaching, you get access to weekly group coaching calls with our certified life coaches. Right now, that consists of me and Chrissy Nichols from the Chrissy Concept and the Teacher Talk podcast. We help you work through the hard stuff and stay focused on your why. And each week we'll discuss common themed topics. We usually have our members vote on like what they'd most like to hear about. So usually Chrissy and I will come prepared with a little lesson with open time at the end for any questions or concerns you bring to the call. As a group, we tackle things such as like how to stop grading on the weekends, decreasing planning time while still feeling like an effective teacher, turning burnout and overwhelm into confidence and greater self-worth, how to balance being a teacher and a parent without compromising or feeling like you're failing. And the great thing about coaching is you don't have to come up with everything yourself. Like you don't have to show up to a call and be like, what do you want coaching on today? And feel like you need to come ready to do that every single time. Like you can. There are great opportunities, especially right now. If you join now before the club grows even more, there are more opportunities for you to be one-on-one coach. But you can also come and learn from others, learn from peers, and they might bring something up that you're like, oh my goodness, I needed coaching on that too, and I didn't even know it. So you get to learn from your peers. It's such a rich learning environment, and you'll get to hear things that you didn't even think to ask. The other great thing about group coaching is that even if you aren't able to make the times, you are able to learn from seeing other people coached on the replays or even listening on the members only private podcast. We have a podcast feed that every single coaching call goes on to. So you will be able to listen to coaching on the go, just like you're listening to this podcast. You can hear people get coached on the podcast and apply it to your own life and situation. Both Chrissy and I, we try to, throughout our coaching, ask questions to those who are listening either live or on the replay, like how does this apply to you, and bring it back to the coaching being for everybody, because we truly believe that one person's coaching is everybody's coaching. Okay, so now that we've talked a little bit about what group coaching in general is, I want to talk a little bit about why group coaching is ideal for teachers. Because a lot of people, I remember Chrissy and I, we did a free call a while back. And, somebody in the comments was, how do I get private coaching? Now, private coaching is amazing. I mean, I've done it. I love it. One thing about it, super expensive. Like you cannot get private coaching without paying at least $2,000 for a package with a life coach. Now, coaching in the club, you can get a full year of coaching for just a few $100s. So huge difference between that. And you could even just pay monthly. Right now, it's $29.99 a month. It'll be going up in August to $37, which I'll be talking a little bit about that. It is such a good deal to have group coaching. So first off, teacher budget, group coaching is amazing. But second, everybody thinks they need private coaching, right? You think like, oh, my situation is so unique, or I'm nervous to, get in front of everybody. Totally valid. But the thing about coming in a group is that you can learn, again, like I mentioned, from other people getting coached. You can also learn so much from that experience of coming on and getting coached live. A lot of people who have said like, they were nervous or they didn't think they'd ever come on and do it. They did it. And they're like, oh, it was actually amazing. And I loved that it was in a group because you get that support from your community as well. And it is kept private still inside Wife Teacher Mommy Club. That's why, you haven't heard any of the coaching calls where we're actually coaching people one-on-one on the podcast, because we keep that just to those who are in the club. So it is still pretty private just for those who are in there. And you can learn so much. You might think your issue is special or unique, but I'm sure everybody's issues are special and unique in their own way, but you can bring it to a call and somebody there is going to relate to it. And that alone can make you feel less alone as well. You can realize, wow, I'm not alone in this. I totally thought I was. So just that community that you get as teachers, I feel like so many of us need and crave. And maybe there are things you wouldn't even feel comfortable sharing with teachers at your school that you might be able to share in this setting. Now, the one thing I do want to mention is I actually do have a few private coaching options coming up for those who have been in the club for a year. I am starting a new thing where I am going to do some one-on-one coaching where people can apply to get one-on-one coaching, and it'll be semi-private where like they get to meet with me one-on-one, and we'll even like disguise voices and everything. We'll probably air the first episode here on this podcast so everybody here can kind of get a feel for what coaching is, but then all the follow-up episodes to see the growth from that person will be on the main podcast. And then before and after each one, I will share what everybody can learn from each one. So you can learn from other people getting coached too. But if you've been in the club for at least a year, you can apply to be one of those people to get that one-on-one coaching package where you don't pay anything addition. The only thing is you just have to be a member of the club and apply, and then obviously be one of the ones who's chosen to come on. I can't do it with absolutely everybody, but that is a really exciting opportunity that's coming up. And again, like I mentioned on the podcast before, I think, or maybe I haven't, but we're adding additional perks. So the longer you're in the club, more things that you'll be able to unlock, just because it's kind of like in the beginning, it's like we really, just come to the group coaching. That is what you need. Watching through the modules, going through all that. And then the longer you're in, the more ready you are to dive in even deeper. So more things that you'll be able to unlock. Okay. And last but not least, let's talk about how the calls work inside Wife Teacher Mommy Club. So they happen on Zoom. So if you've attended Educate and Rejuvenate or any of our webinars, those are on StreamYard where you can see me, but I can't see you. As of right now, at the time of recording, we are using a Zoom room rather than a webinar. So everybody can see each other if you want. You get to choose if you want your camera on or off. And that means we can see faces, which is really fun to kind of see each other and build that community. And as of right now, Chrissy or I each week are doing a call, and I'm aiming for once a week myself, and then Chrissy has some. There are some weeks that are busy. For example, the 2 weeks leading up to Educate and Rejuvenate, I was like, I'm not doing calls because lots to do to prepare for the event. So Chrissy's doing them those weeks. We make sure you always have some coaching though, some sort of coaching each week that you get to attend. And we have several different types of calls we do. So I talked about the one we do the most frequently right now is workshop style, because that is where we have a specific topic that we teach about for the first part of the call. So for some that I've done recently are declutter your mind and your space is one I did, how to create an intentional schedule and actually stick to it, creating a purposeful teacher summer, things like that, where we get to teach about something for a bit. And it's interactive. It's not just like a podcast. It's like, we ask questions, we see what you have in the chat, we answer your questions. And then after that, we open it up for coaching. If someone would like to come on and get coached, whether it's on that topic or something else, totally fine. That is workshop style coaching. Now, the next type is open coaching. And that is where Chrissy or I will just show up. We're like, this is open coaching. Whoever wants to come on and get coached, I am here as your coach. Raise your hand and we will coach you. That's basically what open coaching is. Then the next type of call I recently added is one called Model Mastery. And this is where we teach the model, which is the coaching tool that we use, the circumstances, thoughts, feelings, actions, results. Again, something that takes time to learn. I've talked about it on the podcast before. But what we do is we break it down, we dive into the model, and then we try to create as many models as we can through the chat. So we don't have anybody coming on screen and getting coached. It's like we run through as many models as we can through the chat and we use like our whiteboard with all the fun markers and go through all the models and teach you how to use it, teach you how to use the thought download and self-coach so you can walk away understanding the model better each time you attend one of those calls. I've been studying the model for 4 years now, and I'm still learning new things about it and new things about myself, gaining new awareness from it. So these calls are super important for us to be able to learn how the model impacts our lives. Okay, so that is group coaching in a snapshot. And this is really what makes Wife Teacher Mommy Club different than so many of the other teacher memberships out there. There are lots of amazing teacher authors out there who are creating memberships where you get access to their resources. And you get that with Wife Teacher Mommy Club. We have over 1,000 resources. We have them differentiated for pre-K through 6th grade. So it's, very worth it to a wide variety of teachers to be able to use those resources. But what I think is even more important for teachers is not just printables to help save you time, but this community and the coaching to help your mindset so you can thrive in teaching and life inside and outside the classroom. And I honestly don't know of any other membership out there that does everything that we do inside Wife Teacher Mommy Club, where you get certified coaches through the Life Coach School, which is the most prestigious life coach school out there. You have the resources that you get to download. We do the big Educate and Rejuvenate conferences where you get all the perks when you are a member. It is honestly just mind-blowing to me, all the things we've added to it, because I'm so passionate about this offer and all that we can do to help teachers and just making it better and better. But like I said, since we've added so much, we are increasing the prices in August. So if you are listening and you're like, this sounds like something I would like, now is the time to join. Go to wifeteachermommy.com/club. You'll be able to lock in our current pricing. And even if you're listening later, if you're like, oh no, I missed it, it's August now, it's $37. Still, such an amazing deal. And we will likely increase it again as we get the word out about coaching more, as people understand what coaching is. Because what the hurdle we're running into right now is people just don't understand coaching and the value of it. Next lowest life coaching membership that I know of from somebody certified from the Life Coach School is $59 per month. That is still $22 more than when we increased the price to Wife Teacher Mommy Club. And those do not include teaching resources. So let me just tell you, we are giving all that we possibly can inside this membership. And if you join actually Brooke Castillo's membership, Self-Coaching Scholars, that is $299 per month. This is such a good deal, you guys. I am so thrilled to be offering life coaching and all the resources inside Wife Teacher Mommy Club. Would love for you to join us. Would love to see your face on our next Zoom call and not just talk to you through the podcast, but actually get to know each other. Like, I love getting to know our club members. And if you missed last episode with Trakina, like, it's so much fun. I love when I get to interview members on the podcast or coach you on Zoom and just really connect with you. So I would love to see you inside the club. If you feel like it's right for you, go to wifeteachermommy.com/club. And I really would love to see you there. And if you have any questions, feel free to email me at hello@wifeteachermommy.com. We'll be happy to answer any questions that you have about the club, how it works. And otherwise, we will talk soon on the next episode. Bye. If you enjoyed this podcast, be sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss an episode. And if you're ready to take the next step and work with me and take everything you learn on this podcast to the 10x level, I'd love for you to join me inside Wife Teacher Mommy Club. You'll get access to a library of 1,000+ resources that will help you take back your time. The resources alone easily pay off your club membership. Plus, if you join us on the quarterly plan or above, you'll get our luxury leather-bound teacher planner, a $50 value shipped to your door for free. But in my humble opinion, the most important part of the club is the opportunity to get coached on whatever comes your way that you can thrive in teaching and life. You'll get to join weekly coaching calls with me and fellow club coaches to not only listen and consume this content, but really apply it to your life. This is where the magic happens. The doors are closed the majority of the year, but you can request a personalized invitation as a podcast listener. Simply go to wifeteachermommy.com/podcast invite to learn more. You can also find the link in the show notes. I hope to see you face to face on Zoom soon inside Wife Teacher Mommy Club.